Okay, good morning. This is the time and place for the Board of Public Education's public hearing in the matter of the adoption of new Rule 1 pertaining to the Class 9 Special Education Technician license and the Educator licensure standards. My name is McCall Flynn, the Executive Director of the Board of Public Education. I will conduct this hearing and report back to the board. My report will be a summary of the testimony at this hearing, as well as the written comments that may be filed with the Board of Public Education. Written comments concerning these rules may be submitted until 5 p.m. on Friday, March 6th. Administrative rule review is a function of interim committees and the Environmental Quality Council, or EQC. These interim committees and the EQC have administrative rule review, program evaluation, and monitoring functions for the executive branch agencies and the entities attached to agencies for administrative purposes. The Education Interim Committee and the EQC have the authority to make recommendations to an agency regarding the adoption, amendment, or repeal of a rule, or to request that the agency prepare a statement of the estimated economic impact of a proposal. The Education Interim Committee, or the EQC, also may poll the members of the legislature to determine if a proposed rule is consistent with the intent of the legislature, or during a legislative session, introduce a joint resolution directing an agency to adopt, amend, or repeal a rule. The Education Interim Committee and the EQC welcome comments and invite members of the public to appear before them or to send written statements in order to bring to their attention any difficulties with the existing or proposed rules. Their mailing address is P.O. Box 201, 706, Helena, Montana 59620. This is a rule hearing conducted pursuant to the Montana Administrative Procedures Act, or MAPA, which is a section of the Montana law governing how agencies adopt administrative rules. Administrative rules are authorized by state statutory law and are used to implement specific duties directed by the Montana legislature. A hearing of this nature is typically recorded, and we are recording this hearing today. The recording will help me and the presiding officer give a better report back to the Board of Public Education. Under state law, the Board of Public Education makes the final determination in what rules are adopted. To ensure that the public is informed of the agency rulemaking and has the opportunity to provide input, MAPA requires that this hearing be conducted according to some specific statutory requirements. Notice of this hearing was contained in the Montana Administrative Register, notice number 2026 4.1, published on February 6, 2026 in issue number 3. Under Model Rule of the Attorney General's Model Rules for the Administrative Procedures Act, which have been adopted by the board, I'm required to summarize the major provisions of this notice. Paragraph 1 of the notice provides a summary of the proposed rulemaking. Paragraph 2 states that the hearing date and time, virtual hearing information, and the comment deadline. Paragraph 3 states that the board will make reasonable accommodations for persons with disabilities who wish to participate in this public hearing and give details and contact information for requesting accommodations. Paragraph 4 states that I'm McCall Flynn and the contact for public comment. Paragraph 5 of the notice states that general reasonable necessity statement, which outlines the general rationale, the adoption and repeal. Rather than read the full text, I will summarize. The proposed new rule will support the intent to provide a higher level of support to Montana students with disabilities. The purpose is to certify a technician who meets the requirements to provide technical services to a special education supervising teacher, which is currently not available through any other classification of licensure. The new rule, which will be numbered ARM 1057-439 and will be titled Class 9 Special Education Technician License. Paragraph 6 outlines the rule proposed to be adopted. Rather than read the full text, I will summarize. New Rule 1 states that the license is valid for 5 years and renewable upon completion of 30 professional development units. To obtain the Class 9 license, the applicant must meet a variety of requirements, including verification of a high school diploma, completion of online modules, documented work experience, and completion of institutionally accredited college or university courses in education. Like all educator licenses, the applicant must complete the online course, An Introduction to Indian Education for All in Montana. Paragraph 7 of the notice states that the board does not believe that small businesses are likely to be directly impacted by the proposed rule changes. Paragraph 8 states that the bill-sponsored notification requirements of Montana Code Annotated 2-4-302 do not apply. Paragraph 9 gives notice the board maintains a rulemaking interested persons list and indicates how a person may have his or her name placed on the list to receive notification from the board of rulemaking matters. Paragraph 10 of the notice states that I, McCall Flynn, Executive Director, have been designated to preside over this hearing. Copies of the notice of public hearing on the proposed rulemaking are available on the board's website, as well as the Secretary of State's website, and can be emailed to interested persons. If you do not have a copy and wish to have a copy emailed to you, please email bpe@mt.gov. Montana Code Annotated 2-4-3022A requires each agency, which includes boards, to create and maintain a list of interested persons and the rulemaking subject or subjects in which each person on the list is interested. A person who submits a written comment or attends a hearing regarding proposed agency rulemaking must be informed of the list by the agency. The Board in Public Education does maintain lists of persons interested in various areas of rulemaking conducted by the board so that the board can provide these persons with notes of proposed rulemaking actions. If you would like to be placed on the rulemaking interested persons list, please email our office at bpe@mt.gov. As stated in paragraph 2 of the notice, written comments submitted after this hearing should be addressed to the board and delivered to our office at P.O. Box 200601, Helena, Montana 59620, or email to bpe@mt.gov. To guarantee consideration by the board, comments must have been received in person or postmarked no later than 5 p.m. on Friday, March 6, 2026. The purpose of this hearing is to collect verbal comments concerning proposed changes and gather public input concerning the changes. If you are recommending specific language changes, please submit them in writing or be specific in your recommendation. This hearing is not a question and answer session. If you have technical or procedural questions, you may reach out to our office following the hearing conclusion. Following the close of comments, the Board of Public Education will, as required by law, summarize the comments made and respond to them. The summarized comments and the Board of Public Education responses will be published in the Montana Administrative Register as part of the rulemaking process. So at this time, if you'd like to make public comment, please raise your hand and I'll promote each of you individually to speak. Please identify yourself for the record, stating your name and whom you represent. All right, I'll say that one more time. For those on Zoom in the attendees section, if you'd like to make public comment, please raise your hand and I'll promote each person individually to speak. Please identify yourself for the record, stating your name and whom you represent. Okay. Seeing no hands raised, the hearing is now over. The record does remain open until 5 p.m. on Friday, March 6th. The Board of Public Education will make decisions concerning these rules at their next scheduled meeting on March 19th and 20th in Ronan, Montana. Please remember that you can still send written comments to the Board of Public Education at P.O. Box 200601, Helena, Montana 59620, or email us at bpe@mt.gov.